This might sound crazy, but there are real signs that Max Verstappen could actually leave Formula One at the end of the season. And if that happens, it would completely change the future of the sport. Because this isn't just about one bad race, or even one bad season. This goes much deeper. For years, Verstappen has been untouchable. With Red Bull Racing, he built one of the most dominant eras in Formula One history, winning races almost effortlessly, breaking records, making every weekend feel predictable. But now, that dominance is starting to slip, pretty dramatically, enough to raise serious questions. Because suddenly, Red Bull doesn't look invincible anymore. Other teams are way ahead. And for the first time in a long time, Verstappen actually has a fight. And that might sound normal, but for someone like him, it changes everything. Here's the reality. Red Bull's car is no longer clearly the best. And in Formula One, that changes a driver's entire mindset. When you're winning easily, everything feels under control. But when the car isn't perfect, frustration starts to build. Mistakes feel bigger. Pressure increases. And for Verstappen, a driver who demands perfection, even a small drop in performance can feel like a massive step backwards. But the car is only part of the story, because something else is bothering him even more. Formula One is changing. New regulations, new formats, more sprint races, more complexity. And Verstappen has not been quiet about it. He's openly criticized the direction of the sport, saying it's becoming too complicated, too artificial, less about pure racing. And this matters more than people think, because when a driver stops enjoying the sport, that's when real decisions start to happen. This isn't just frustration, it's philosophical. Verstappen has always been very clear about one thing. He doesn't want a long Formula One career. He's not trying to race forever. He's not chasing legacy in the traditional way. He wants to enjoy racing. And when that enjoyment disappears, there's nothing really keeping him there. And here's where it gets serious. Because he's already hinted at this multiple times. In interviews, he said he might retire early. He wants to race in other categories. He doesn't like where Formula One is going. Most people didn't take it seriously. Because why would he leave? He's at the top, winning, dominating. But now, the situation is different. Because the one thing that kept him in Formula One might be disappearing. As long as Verstappen is winning comfortably, everything else is tolerable. The politics, the rules, the pressure. But if you take that away, now you have a car that isn't dominant, a sport he doesn't fully agree with, and less enjoyment overall. That combination is dangerous, because that's exactly when drivers start asking, why am I still doing this? Now imagine this scenario. At the end of the season, Verstappen actually walks away. What happens next? First, Red Bull Racing is in chaos. They lose their number one driver. Their entire system is built around him. Replacing him is almost impossible. Second, the entire grid changes overnight. Because Verstappen isn't just another driver. He's the benchmark, the one everyone is chasing. Without him, the championship fight becomes unpredictable, wide open, completely different. And here's something most people aren't talking about. Formula One itself would take a hit, because like it or not, Verstappen is one of the biggest draws in the sport right now. Losing him wouldn't just affect racing. It would affect viewership, rivalries, the entire narrative of the sport. So now you have to look at everything together. A weaker car, a changing sport, a driver who's already thinking about leaving. And suddenly, this doesn't feel impossible anymore. It starts to feel like a real possibility. So the question is this just another phase of frustration during a tough period? Or are we actually watching the early signs of Max Verstappen walking away from Formula One for good? Would Formula One be better or worse without Verstappen?